It's
Do it.
happening.
Pull the trigger on it.
Hello. We're here.
Buongiorno.
I'm doing the Ron Paul gif.
Look at that. All the cams in the right place, despite the fact that I definitely checked it before we went live. You laughed
Yeah.
like in the Overwatch theme sound. Da 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 da. Your laugh followed that pattern very precisely. Hi,
purpose.
welcome. Hello. Thanks for being here. It's Spire night and we have a poem from Chelsea. Sam, take it away.
Spire Knight. That's how I'm now representing Spire Knight. Okay, all right.
Oh, yeah.
First, let me take a moment to say bravo to each of you for your talent, voices, and characters and roleplay. Rauka, we'll miss you, but hello to new friends. As long as this campaign continues, I hope Chairmageddon never ends. Having a Spire goat with human hands is definitely a new life goal, and consider this my application for choose manager role. Oh, I'm so excited for whatever chaos this group may go through. Much love, Spire crew. I can see and hear you. This poem was sponsored by Carrots and Skittles.
You're
and
hired. You're instantly hired.
And this time it's also been brought to you by Raisins on a Log.
Yeah, look. I'm putting the ants on the log right
No,
now.
Or ants on a log, sorry.
I like
off
the
the
idea
log.
that like saying it's raisins on a log means that it's actually ants on the peanut butter, right?
Yes.
But I'm not that sick of a person. I wouldn't eat raisins on a log. Gross. These
I
are ants
never.
on a log. Thanks.
All right.
Raisins on a piece of wood.
It's a delicacy.
Horrific.
Okay.
Because good
This is why
fighter.
we use home defense.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Hi, everybody. Hey, thanks for joining us. As always, you can watch other helpful goat things. Thanks. You know what, Rachel? It's you. You're the one I was thinking today and always. Thank you, Rachel.
It's always been you, Rachel.
It's always been you. Every time those words are uttered out of my mouth, it's just there's a silent Rachel in my head.
But yeah, there's also a not so silent Rachel in my head anytime anybody says those things. So
So yeah, thanks everyone else besides Rachel for being here also. And you can watch other helpful goat things this week. Tomorrow we're playing Tier in Trial. I just had a moment where I'm like, are we? And then next Wednesday we're playing
Saturday
Goats.
there's a tier one shot
Saturday there's a Tier 1 shot
with Sam.
with Sam.
I
Hey.
didn't look at where he was. So.
Well, you pointed in every direction except Sam, so
I aimed. to
you're
please.
muted. You're muted. Sam is muted.
This entire time. Okay, all right. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah,
Tier 1
tier-
shot with Galway, called Tier the Balance, featuring Debbie, who
Yay!
it's her first time on stream with us. We're really excited about that.
4 o'clock
And,
Eastern.
2 o'clock Eastern.
Oh, I thought it was 2 o'clock Mountain. Well, fuck
2
me.
o'clock Eastern, noon Mountain Time, 7 p.m. GMT.
Excellent. Thank you. And then Thursday, nope, on Wednesday, it's Goats of Saltmarsh at 7 Mountain Time. And then it's us again on Thursday at 6:30 on Ava's birthday. What? Who said that? And so yeah,
I have a
we'll be-
birthday?
there's so many birthdays happening
Weird.
very soon in my world. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's-
Probably
yeah.
in the world as well.
Yeah, but in the world just generally, but like people who are important to me. Birthdays. This is the sprint for me. This is our sprint week. So let's go. Yes, Ava's birthday on the 25th, and then my brother, and then my mom. So it's just, and then, yeah. So yes, that's happening next week. Are we missing anything?
My birthday is June 8th.
You know, happy early birthday, Sam. It's never too soon.
Mine June
Yeah,
10th.
start
I'm only 2
planning.
days after Sam.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. Yeah, okay, so is that it? Is that everything for planning the things?
You're good.
Then we're going to get stress levels. Anders, I'm assuming you're at 0. Actually, Do any of you have stress?
I am at 0.
Because you guys refreshed over the
Well, he
laying
did
low
do something, but I think it went against his
resistances.
yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
how about
yeah, he
Yes.
changed
I'm
form.
I'm fresh out of resistance slots.
okay?
Chu destroyed a chair after the refresh,
I
but
still
I don't know
show
if it took
no
damage.
stress for Chew. Is that accurate?
I just remember that happened.
Okay. Yes. Anybody have any?
Nope.
Great. You know what? Wow. Look at us. Okay,
So
then
stress-free.
so stress-free, just like in real life. Rachel and Sam. Oh, go ahead. What was that?
Could we do recap before so I kind
Hmm.
of get a sense of maybe what it is I would want to have been spending my
Yeah,
time
yeah.
researching?
Yes, that's totally fine with me. Let's do the recap first, and then we'll have Rachel and Sam do the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the big words. All right, take it away, team.
I didn't write notes last time, so
Okay.
I have notes from the beginning and then the end because the whole middle I was just like, what's happening?
So Rauka and Alvi had a little scene. That's where we started. And it has now been determined that Rauka is basically just kind of hiding out in the Vermissian in like a kind of maybe a secret compartment of the work of Alvi's workshop or something like that. But that happens a few days or no, that happened. Where did that happen chronologically? Okay, that
so
happened
chronologically,
after.
we were in the vault, and then that happened, and then we went and talked to Lukash. Those are the
Yeah. Okay. So, but before we found out where Rauka was, we went into the vault with what's his face's dead body. Theon's dead body. And we ended up in a room containing a series of religious artifacts. And the sage that this collection belonged to was Saren, who is a very prolific religious studies Vermissian sage, who neither me nor Alvi has actually met and interfaced with, but we just know of. And while trying to get to Alvi's shop, Alvi and I discovered some secret hidden symbols within the Vermissian that now enable us to kind of fast travel, hopefully, assuming some of these ways and means have not deteriorated. And then we got a note from Lola out of her human hands, letting us know that Lukash wanted to speak with us. And when we went to go speak with Lukash, I accosted Lukash and demanded repayment, which I got. And we also got introduced to who was at the time going by Anders, but is now Berthold, presently. Our new party member, yes, and that was exciting, and that was kind of it. We got an info dump from Berthold.
Well, you started to, but mostly we got an interview from Chew to see if Anders and or Bertold would have been acceptable material for a manager for Chew's performances. So
right, we started getting that info dump. All we've learned right now that I took notes on was that the Sky Wells are not connected with the Morticians. That's about it.
And yeah, just to clarify that point, I remember that happening last time and being like, oh, I think there's a misunderstanding that like might have been my fault. So I just want to make sure the Sky Whales and the smuggling, like it's not that it's not connected to what's happening, but the Sky Whales, whatever is the smuggling process is, it's not going to the Morticians. It's somewhere else in New Heaven that right, that's ending up. So Just want to make sure that was clarified. It's
Okay,
not to
so
say
they're
like
not directly connected. but-
exactly. It's
Okay.
not like to say that the Sky Whales is a total red herring and has nothing to do with the case necessarily. Like that hasn't, the smuggling, whatever the capturing and smuggling on the Sky Whales is simply not being used by the morticians, or is not a mortician's plot.
Okay. And that's like all the notes I had.
And did you say that we put Theon's body in my work space?
No, I didn't, but that's what we did with his body.
And I
To
think it's
keep it
still
for
there.
later because I knew that I could talk to.
Oh yeah, and y'all work together to embalm it very nicely.
hmm
Yeah, we're real good at things. So it's not stinking up the place horribly.
Just smells of embalming fluid or whatever, but not of dead
Which
body.
I mean, totally used
rotting.
to. It's fine, yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
right. And we also asked, was it Bertold that has the ability to commune with the dead?
We haven't
One of
actually
them.
talked yet, but I know that
Yes.
I know that Anders is some of his different has the ability to
Right.
do that.
I also
So,
gave Lukash the pendant amulet thing that I had, right?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Was there
I
something else
remember
y'all
what
asked
happened.
Lukash to do? Wasn't there something else?
Look for a
He was supposed to
manager.
find a manager.
God. Okay, and
Yeah.
Lukash did report back to you about the swan as well, right?
and he also did tell us to absolutely let him know if we find Rauka, and Alvi was very
Yes.
concerned, even though he totally meant, please God, don't fucking tell me. Just
Yes.
keep it. But
And Lukash also told us, I mean, I didn't actually take notes on this, but I believe Lukash did say that the two other celebrities that we thought might have been connected to the Swan did not appear to be so.
No, that was
That-
one clarification point. Lukash uses they them pronouns. And then also the Lukash did report back about this about the two other idols. Lorelei was not connected, but Callisto Brox was suspected to be connected because Callisto had
He was violent. That's
very
right, I remember
violent
that.
and was like there were several scandals in his past, including like one where he murdered people, and then he was kind of like his murders were seen as like beautiful and artsy, and so he was taken by the Elfir to like be an artiste of death in Amaranth, and then there was some other scandal and he like lost that status, and but his kind of signature was certainly to do bloody, disgusting, nasty deaths. So murders, deaths.
Y'all
he,
remember
he
that
did
hit
deaths is like the
single?
nicest way to say he murdered people.
He did a death.
He did a death. He murdered people for money and fun. So
New hot single from Callisto Brox.
did a
Shot
death.
through the heart,
I did
and
a
I
death.
hate it afterwards.
Okay. Yes. Anything else?
Sam and I need to pick our things.
Yes, Sam and Rachel need to pick the things. So what will you pick this time for your special knack?
Silver bribing. What? Who said that?
Yeah, that sounds like what I would do.
If I may,
I guess
like,
I'd do it if I-
what is like the next goal in which we are trying to achieve immediately? Just more information gathering? Is that like what we're doing, or
We were gonna talk to the dead body. That was the first order of business, I think. But also, now that we have recapped, I'm thinking maybe we should try to find out more about Calixto.
it was Callisto or
Callisto? I don't know. I wrote it with an X.
I have Callisto Brox.
It's Callisto. Last name is Brox.
Oh, maybe that's where the X came from.
Callisto Brox.
Oh my gosh, I cleaned my keyboard and I switched the Z and X keys by accident. And I was just trying to type in the chat and I was like, bronze, why?
Beautiful. Yeah, do we... If... I couldn't, like, because it's Berthold that talks to the dead, so I couldn't be, like, compelled to get more information out of the dead ghost. Because I'm not the one fucking talking to it, right? So...
Right.
Huh. I'm gonna say maybe sneak to hide the body and whatever it is that we're doing with the body while we're doing things. Just so people don't come into my workspace and they're like, oh fuck. That's a dead mortician there. So
And
Does
I
that
am
work?
going to do steal, specifically regarding large inconvenient objects that you can't really conceal normally.
Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah, so that puts us back in to the middle of the conversation pretty much, because we did just kind of like being driven mostly by time and not by like milestone endings. It means we just kind of said like, hey, it's 9:30. This is as far as you got because an interview was ongoing. So I think that, yeah, like we pretty much left off with Berthold kind of going through some of the things that he knows, and explaining a little bit about his whole thing. So we can pick
That's
up
right.
there.
And just to set the scene, she has her little pad out still
Okay.
and some readers on. She put some reader glasses on.
And then I just want to also say that like we eventually probably could have tokens for like Bertold and any other cover identities for Anders. But like there's also a lot of management of that on my end of like swapping them out and stuff. So like if we're
I
talking
was gonna
about
say for ease of
yeah, we're talking about
for
Bertold,
ease of access, just keep it as Anders.
just
Yeah.
assume it's Anders that we're talking. Yeah, but also I think that Anders or Tyler, like you need to start naming them in alphabetical order because we already have Anders, Bertold.
Ooh.
So
next is Chet and then Dave.
Chet and Dave. We've already got
Chet and Dave.
some Daves rocking around for some
I'm
number.
so
Oh, that's true.
I mean, that's one of the
I'm so
covers. It's one
tempted.
of Choose fans.
Okay. Yeah, so let's pick up the conversation. I guess I don't have better direction for y'all than saying like, hey, you were in the middle of talking about comparing notes. Go.
I'm
Was-
liking
We
your
didn't, and none of us
qualifications
have
so
stress,
far.
right?
Was Tyler or
No
Bertold
stress.
in the middle of telling us his stuff? Or no? To be like,
I think I
didn't
do
know.
have more.
Yeah.
I think Bertold has more information than has been revealed.
Yes, I believe I have more. Let me double check my notes. Yes, I believe I do. Where were we on this train ride, Skywell journey? We I was talking about the smuggling. Talking about the the Skywells. We talked about the Skywells.
Did you share why
Did
you
we talk
were
about the
up
undead?
there? Like what specifically your goal was up there?
I did not. That is good.
Happy to help.
Thank you. So I was up there investigating the connections for the smuggling at first. Some drow were concerned that their loved ones' body parts weren't always going where they were supposed to, and they blamed the morticians. So Lukash had sent me to see if there was any truth to that. But there is no connection between the morticians and the Skywells. I was also there, just trying to stay low, keeping a low profile. As there were some things, as you discovered on your own, um, that Theon, had himself involved with. Things there are a little more heated because the people think the morticians think that there is someone on the inside that perhaps did it. I don't know if all of them are so convinced that it was the swan, or if it was the swan, then someone had to let him in the door.
Did you ever see the swan when he came to visit Theon, or they? I guess I shouldn't just assume the swan is a man. Did you ever see
I
them
did
when they came
not.
to visit?
No. No. No.
That would be too much to wish for, I suppose.
I did not have the opportunity, unfortunately. Yes. I was very hopeful I would, but no.
Did you ever
I heard
speak-
from Lukash that there was a corpse.
Yes, it's in my office actually. I mean, it's in my office actually.
Oh, good.
Yes, we stripped it and took it, and it was a death that was
Necessary.
that. Yes, he was a gross man. So he died, and for reasons, and then we took him through the vault, and I believe there was a note left about possibly it being the swan to try and not have people be on our tracks. And we have taken him and embalmed him and hid him in my office in the Vermisian, so that in the hopes that maybe I was hoping to find you actually, so this turned out amazing, that maybe you could talk to his ghost. We didn't actually get to ask him any questions that we wanted to ask him, but we thought maybe we could talk to his ghost.
I mean, we know a lot about the kind of person.
I need to
he was,
spirit
so
away
let's
for a
go.
hot second here. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem.
Go for it.
Also, I think there was one other kind of important thing that Anders told you that I just wanted to make sure we covered also, was that you also heard about this like sick Alfir. Do you guys remember this? There's a sick Alfir who the undying surgery, like it wasn't satisfactory for her. And like she thought it's kind of an abomination to have that done, but she does want to live forever, and so she's she's been on the warpath, like pissed that the morticians can't do better.
Oh yeah. She wants that immortality.
But not in a grotesque way. Gosh.
Not the way that the
Yeah.
morticians can offer
Clean
it.
immortality.
If I have
okay?
to replace my body parts, is it really immortality? Like
It's like that
come
ship.
on.
What's that ship that left
The
Greece?
ship of Theseus?
Yeah, that one. If we replace all your body parts, are you really still
Oh my god, we
cheers.
didn't do introductions and the pointing shit.
We
No.
didn't.
Oh shit, we forgot. We could do it now while Tyler's
Okay.
gone.
All right.
I'm Ava, she, her. My character is called Queen of Excess. She also uses she, her. And so we were talking about the ship of Theseus. I'll add a fun fact in that like teleportation, like Star Trek beaming up thing, it's the same concept. If you rearrange different particles in the same formation, are they really you? Are you prestiging every time you get teleported in Star Trek? Okay. And the next I will Tyler, you're next.
We're doing introductions because we forgot them.
What do I do? Oh, great. Hi, I'm Tyler, he, him, and I am playing Anders Stolkin, also he, him.
Only Ava has gone so far, so you can
Oh, great.
point to anybody else.
Can I go up? I don't know where I am. Let's
is
go
Rachel.
up.
Up is Rachel.
Rachel.
Up is me. Hi, I'm Rachel. I go by she, her, hers, and I play Alvi Melita, whose last name I never say. And she is also she, her, hers. And I'm gonna point diagonally down that way to Sarah.
It me. I'm Sarah. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'll use also the full name, which is Altondin Maena, aka Din, whose pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm gonna give it to
Wait.
Sam.
Yay, it's
Everybody's
me.
dropping their full name, and I didn't get to do mine. I didn't know this was a thing.
Oh, I just said my last name because I never say it.
Ava's
So-
gonna say it, and then Sam.
Do it.
Sorry, Sam. My character's full name is Azsola Chuganzade.
Nice.
So hi, I'm Sam. I go by he, him, his. I play a character named Eddic Sharmuza, who also goes by he, him, his, and Eddic Sharmuza is an anagram for MC Escher.
Oh. I just really enjoyed Elise's face as you said Sharmuza. Elise just went like,
The little, it's like when people say Portia instead of Porsche. It's like, ooh,
Right.
fancy tonight.
you said it. And Elise was just like,
It's like,
And
yes,
she did
I
it
do understand
both
that that's
times
more
you
correct.
she did it both times you said it, and it's just like, I don't know why it tickled me.
Wonderful. I don't think
It
we've
was
used.
very
I don't
cute.
think I've heard the little at the end before, so I will keep it. I'm going to take a note, Sharmuza.
Tell us time in Mandarin.
No, I can't. It's so hard. Galway can do it. Galway, I'm counting on you. Hop into the chat right now. Give us a quick lesson on time in Mandarin because I suck at it.
Based on what so Tyler, as you got up and left, Elise
Yes, sorry about
reminded
that.
us- No. Elise reminded us while you were gone that there was a Elfir who was part of the info dump was that Elfir was very interested in living forever, but was very not pleased with undying surgeries and views that as an abomination and wants something more. Would I have any reason to suspect then, Elise, that that this Elfir is resorting to demons to try to live forever? Is that something that either A, I would assume could be the case, or B, that I might or Byron might be aware of as far as like a manifestation of demonic ability?
I think you think that it could be. I know, Sarah. I think you think it could be something someone very desperate would try. I think that it's kind of like when, if it, as Edic kind of ponders this, it's one of those like, as far as Edic knows, that's never been done before. But if it could be done, then you've already got ideas, which means if other people were thinking it and have some expertise in demonology, they might be thinking it. And so based on that, I think maybe you think, yeah, that could be one potential outcome.
Okay. All right. Where we left off? Alvi was just talking to
About the dead
Bertold
body.
about the dead body.
How I wanted him to talk to the ghost. And that was kind of where we had left off. That I was hoping to run into you. So this was lucky that I did, and now hopefully, I mean, we can still talk about other things first if we wanted to do that. But then hopefully you could maybe accompany me and ask some questions of this horrible, dirty, gross man's soul.
Before we go, what information were you all able to extract from him during your interrogation before he was killed?
We look at Chu.
She will like tap her like pencil on the desk a little and be like, so he broke really quickly. I didn't expect it,
I believe we have determined.
Oh, great!
his
So what did you learn?
romantic interests.
We confirmed he's gross, and that he worked with the swan, maybe. And that he's a dead body that we stabbed a bunch and then framed for the swan. And that he was a mortician. And that
Okay.
he is dead. That's for sure.
That
Do
You really
you need
confirmed that.
okay.
Do you need
You're right, we
to
didn't
know-
check his pulse.
We
Oh,
confirmed
God,
he
I
was
gotta go back.
gross and had an erection, but
He did have an erection, and I killed him.
Yes, do you need to know more information before continuing?
His eyes looked like beady little squirrel eyes.
No,
Does that help?
no, no. Wow, that's just
Look, we're
wow.
professionals
Okay.
here. Thank you.
Will you
Yeah, I am very sure. Yes. Okay. A lot of work then to do. Well, let's start walking to the corpse.
Yeah.
So really, nothing other than the very obvious, and then the
well, the hope was
painfully obvious.
the hope was to entice him with the song and then question him. But then the song was so enticing that he died.
Yeah,
I
that's what
have-
happened.
I think what
I have-
happened is he got an erection so fierce that all the blood rushed from his head to his other head, and he died from it.
Definitely what
and
happened.
I-
Thanks for covering, Alfie.
I
Sounds
have
like
heard
science.
that the key to a man's soul is through his salacious appetites.
No,
Ah.
I'll kill you too if I have to. I'm a whole man disposal unit. When you gotta just get rid of the whole man, you come to chew.
Throw out the whole man.
Throw
I
out
wish
the whole
Chewer
man.
also like you have to
Um,
multi-class now as a carrion priest so that you also just like eat and
Eat
consume.
him?
Yeah.
Oh god, that would be so good.
All right, now that we got that out of the way,
Okay. So
He's not going
Um,
anywhere. That's
just-
like the
Rachel
most you
fired.
could ask,
Fine.
you
right,
know?
right off the bat, I'm just going to say, I really wish that you could have gotten anything out of him before this all happened.
Well,
But
I wish my manager didn't have his heart eaten, so we can't have everything.
this is probably going to hurt me to be able to speak with him in the first place. So I would just ask that, if a time comes when I would ask one of you to do something for me, who, you have a specialty in some things that you, out of the kindness of your heart, as I am about to do, would do that thing for me.
I- Over the
I mean,
table,
always.
did you have mind stress?
I took 2 mind stress to become Bertold, and then I'm gonna have to take another D3 to hop on into the spirit world and see all the ghosts.
Okay, so Chew's gonna give you the Danksy thing afterwards, I think. But you're
Perfect.
still in like resistance territory, right? Like you're not.
Yeah, so I've used up both of my mind
Okay.
stress resistance slots. So if I were to take any more mind stress, it's gonna go into the total stress, unfortunately.
I wish I could make my bees
Yeah.
whisper to other people.
Yeah. Chew's gonna be like, is it like a mental thing? Like how are you injecting him with magic? Like what are you doing to
Well, it depends on the day. Sometimes it is a lot
Tuesday?
of sometimes it is a very, very intense mental meditation. Other days happens by accident. I have a minor near-death experience just to kind of jog the spiritual
This could be arranged.
energies. I prefer to focus today. blood loss is not really. It's not fun. It is painful. I don't need the pain. I have had a good deal of it elsewhere. I am much more content with just using the mind. Um,
If
if
you
that is
do
okay.
go the blood loss round, you should really not waste that. I could
But it's
put
not.
it to great
It's
use.
it's normally not me that would see the ghosts when you go the blood loss route. That is probably well Anders if he gets into a scuffle or Stan, because Stan is not great at people speaking.
Yes.
So shall we?
Sure, yes.
Yes, let's go talk to some
Allons
ghosts.
y.
Chew stares longingly at the chair that Lukash was sitting in.
And you
She
leave.
leaves it.
Okay.
And she leaves it, yeah. While we're on the way... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm assuming that Rauka and I worked out some kind of thing where he won't just, like, be right there if ever, like, I come into the lab with people. Like, there's probably, like, you know, some different rooms and compartments or other
Yeah,
things. So
yes.
we worked out ways for him to be, like, more hidden.
Please
when he
don't
comes
make me
in.
talk to
Yeah.
myself.
Yes. For the
Hey, you
purposes of
haven't met our
this.
friend, Rauka. Hello, this is him.
Yes.
Please say introductions, both of
Yeah,
you.
so
Go.
he's got fun. He's got his own little hidey room and everything, and you know.
While we're on our way to the body, Chu is definitely gonna pull out Danksy's amulet, crystal magic meditation ball, and like slip it over to Bertold. You haven't switched your name in Discord
yep.
yet. It still says
Oh, yeah?
Rauka.
Why not?
Rauka.
Oh man, I gotta
So,
remember how to do that.
you can click on in the server, just click in the top left where it says Spire, and then it should say change nickname. So Chu is gonna hand you like this little ball and just be like, isn't this the most precious, beautiful thing? If you meditate on it, you might well, it's brought me peace and it may help you in the upcoming endeavor. I recommend just take a look at it while we walk for a little bit.
I love to read books on the meditation.
Why did that happen?
This is
What?
wonderful.
No.
Oh, it's because it's. Oh no! It's because it's alphabetized.
Oh, it's
Oh,
alphabetized.
I'll change it back.
Oh no!
Just make it
Just put, like,
Vanders.
R
Make
and
it
then
V.
yeah.
Have it be
Dash.
V Vanders.
No, wait,
We
wait.
have to
Let's
do a
just
French accent now.
everybody has a new character. Sam,
Oh,
are you ready to
God.
DM?
I'm still
Yeah.
myself. This is nice. Okay, good. I didn't have to learn anything new. Oh, Ava's still Chew too.
Yeah.
No, we're
At least
back
you
now.
have a lot of voices to do.
But
Oh,
yeah,
would that have made me Anders? Never mind.
And then Chu will be like, but I do want it back, and
Oh.
be careful not to break it. It's so beautiful, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is very soothing.
Yeah, thanks.
And that allows you to
Yeah,
refresh a
just-
certain amount of mind stress, right?
I think it's a D3.
D3.
Yeah.
You spend some time meditating on it, though.
Sam, I'm gonna
Sure,
cultivate
yeah,
that
I would.
item. Everyone's gonna think it's so beautiful, and then when I need a
And then you're
refresh,
just
I'm
gonna have to destroy it.
gonna smash it. I'm gonna throw it on the ground. Only in an emergency. It's like my get out of jail free card when I need a refresh.
All right.
Yeah. So
Oh, go ahead.
if I could, if I could just use that at some point before I decide to.
If you want to spend the
take
walk,
the D3 stress.
yeah, basically like spend
Yeah,
the walk kind
that'd
of
be good.
meditating on it. You know, Alvi, I'm sure would be fine with kind of making sure you don't fall off the edge of perch while you walk
Mhm.
in.
I probably was like used to
Yeah.
like, you know.
Bertold meandering as he. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
So
Rauka asked me to get a god rope, right? Isn't that what
yes.
you asked me for? Okay, so
That was
if
one
I
thing he asked. Yes.
yeah, if I could along the way, I would
Yeah. Easy. They're
get one to bring.
frequently found in this area.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Yeah, and you navigate your way to Alvy's workshop where there is a dead body. No sign of Lola right now. No sign of Rauka. But the you've got your little spot in the vault. And a dead body.
So this is seeing
Home.
now. I'm sure you've seen him before in life. Sorry, we couldn't get it
Yes.
to go down, so it's still there. But just ignore
No,
that part,
it's
and you'll be fine.
it's
He's also naked now.
sure.
True.
So everyone can visualize
wow.
it
Okay.
accurately.
I just pick up his hand
Um,
and I just say like, "Hi, Bertold." Just real.
You could do that,
awkward
but you can't.
and
Nobody wanted to
uncomfortable.
touch. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
no.
rest. Yeah.
You know, I inquired to Alvi if I should put a cloth over it, but it would not leave much to the imagination.
As you can see, I died happy.
I
Okay,
can
maybe I'll stop
confirm that
now.
he did
but-
not die happy.
30 seconds
I-
before he died, he almost died happy.
He almost died happy.
I don't know why I'm making him sound like Mickey Mouse.
Oh, hi! I'm a pervert!
This is like the second instance of puppeteering, by the way. Like, let's keep track of this.
Anyway.
Okay.
Yep. Sorry,
Alfie,
I'm just a little stressed, so
I
I am awkward sometimes when that
I
happens.
understand, but let's not desecrate the dead. If we all remember, I am a mortician priest. It is my job to honor the dead, no matter how nefarious they may have been in life.
Right. I forget that the dead are important
She
also.
nudges
Is
the
it-
body with her foot.
The dead are important, and let's not, forget that ghost plagues do happen, and we need to be, prepared in case specters get angry, and then, they start killing people all willy-nilly, and then, there's a whole nother problems that we need to solve aside from, the sulfur and the track and the smuggling on the skyways. It's just it's a laundry list already. It doesn't need to get longer, yes, I will now. I hope he is the only ghost here. If there are more, we'll find out.
We are in the
Uh,
Vermissian, so I can't really guarantee that it's not just chock full of ghosts. It's a weird place.
It
But
is a
maybe
weird
you could
place.
just pinpoint this one new ghost.
Oh no, it's fine. He should hopefully be near his body. If he's not, well, then that's another problem. But we'll cross that bridge when we burn it down, I guess.
I have a question very quickly. Would it be advisable for his murderer to be in the same room when this is going down?
Oh, that's a good point. Maybe he is. Maybe he might either be full of lust and or rage for Chu, and it might be good to not have her here. I was invisible at the time because my eyes were closed.
Would he
So-
remember if I killed him?
Yeah, perhaps this is all just a dream to him, eh?
Okay.
Or maybe he died of like erection and not, me like pouring decay into his mind.
Bertold, you're the expert on talking to the dead. Do you know if he will remember? If he'll be angry? Is that a common?
It varies from specter to specter. I'm not really sure what to expect once I speak with him. What I can tell you is that I do have some words prepped, and I'm getting ahead of myself. I should. If you all could give me some space and a brief moment of meditation. Thank you, very much. And I'm gonna go ahead. Can I refresh from the Danksy's?
Yes.
Uh,
Roll
Great,
a
I'll do
D3.
that.
That's a 1.
1. Okay,
Nice.
great. Now I'm going to roll for how much stress I take for entering that spirit world.
Oh, wait, but I want my Dinksy's charm back.
Nope.
Slash
Oh.
R space
Spectering
D3.
for dummies.
Thank you. I did it right the first
You
time.
did
and then,
do it right
know.
the first time. 3. Yeah, you couldn't have rolled those
God
the
damn
other
it.
way.
Okay.
So does
Yep,
that put you
yep,
at 2 mind
yep.
stress or
that'll
1?
put me at 2 mind stress. Yep.
2. Okay. All right, let's just go ahead and if I roll 1, you take fallout on this. I rolled an 8.
Ah.
You are fine.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, you did keep Chew in the room, correct? Like there was well, it doesn't really matter actually, honestly. So yeah, so as you kind of focus and kind of get in touch with the space around you, the afterlife, the kind of other overlay of death that hangs here, you look around and you do see the ghost of Theon standing over his body. In his ghost form, he is robed and not erect. And there are a couple other ghosts hanging around. None of that, they are not as fully present as Theon's ghost. It seems like there are there's one that looks like maybe they were once a Vermisian sage and are kind of like ruffling through Alvy's notes, or would be if they could interact with
Rude.
things. But is
Can
kind
we
of
see
like
this or just him? I'm sorry.
only Bertolt can see this. And the other one is just kind of like floating around the room, very listless, very directionless, almost has no particular form to the body at all. And Theon is just kind of standing there, and like Theon is like, as people are, conversation is continuing, and Chew is kind of like, I do want my Danksy charm back, right? And like, and like Theon, as that's kind of like happening, and you're kind of becoming aware of Theon, you hear Theon like mocking Chew, like, I do want my, bitch, like she fucking, what even, yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of what you become aware
Yeah, so
of.
I'm just
Alvy's
gonna.
just gonna be doing this.
Yeah.
Just kind of reaching out into the air.
I'm
And
just
nothing
gonna-
else happening.
Absent-mindedly hand the charm back to Chew, as I try and compose myself.
Thank you. Chew's gonna like scrub it off.
Theon, hello. It is me. I don't know if you remember me. I was pretty new when you when I was brought. I was only around for a few weeks. I am Bertolt. Hello.
And Theon, like the ghost of Theon, kind of like is like looking at you, kind of like surprised, and then like looking at the body next to him that is Theon, and like is realizing that you're looking at him, not at the body, right? And it's just like, oh, we're doing that. You're doing the okay.
Yes.
Bertold was it?
Bertolt, yes.
And you're wearing your mortician stuff, right?
I am, yes.
Okay, yeah. So you say this, and he like immediately just kind of like throws his hands up in the air and is like, "Well, what the fuck? Why aren't we doing something about this? We just left my body here to the whims of these people," and gestures at Alvy and Edic, not even disposing of my body properly so my ghost can rest. Don't we know that's? Well, at least you're here now. Are you going to take care of this?
I am, yes, I am here to negotiate for your safe return to New Heaven, where you can be properly put to rest. Now, I have to ask, what happened? It took me a bit to track you down. I had to
Yeah,
ask a
well,
lot
you
of
seemed
questions.
awfully chummy with my murderer over here. I mean, this bitch points at Chew. Is just. It was like she was, I don't know, gonna give me a lap dance or something, and then suddenly just like whispered some shit in my ear, and then it was like my mind was decaying all around me, and then I was a ghost. And then
God,
there
this is
She
was
the
was
most
like
entitled
filing her
sounding
nails
shitty man.
during this, just like doo doo
Mm.
doo.
Well, you see, I am trying to be cordial and friendly with the heathens that we are surrounded by.
all of you
So
can
that
hear
I get
Berthold saying this, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Can't hear Thean responding, but you hear
Yep.
Berthold calling
He's
you
accurate.
heathens.
No, he's very accurate.
Is accurate. No, it's
Don't worry, he's
Okay.
really nice.
This is Thean being
Okay.
a total
Ask him
asshole.
about
Yes.
how he died.
Thean never
Okay.
saw
Ask him
me
about how he
though.
died. It was really good.
Okay.
Nobody
There are
sees
too
you now
many
and hates
voices.
you.
There
Thean
are
is
too
just
many
mocking
voices in
people.
the
Yeah.
room. Could
Can he hear us?
could the mortals in the room please keep it to a dull roar? There's a lot of chattering. I'm trying to
The
make
I'm
sure
an
that
idol. I'm
the
not
listless
mortal.
the listless floating ghost hearing this just goes because you did specifically only ask that of the mortals in the room. And is now just, I mean, does not need to breathe and is
Wow.
just making this noise nonstop.
At least it's such a dick.
We can't hear that. Only him, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
Thean, who's like, God damn it, she just does this sometimes.
That is such a musical sound you have. I will talk to you about that in just one moment. Wow, just very impressive how just high pitched that.
Think singing?
It is
I
please
have no idea.
once again.
Oh, should
Please,
we go?
I
Should we
have
leave?
yes, that would be wonderful.
Everybody, let's
Yes.
get out of the office. Let's leave Bertold to his. He seems very
I need to
stressed.
You see the ghost
Okay.
that is
I need to speak with my client.
was once a Vermisian sage. When Alvi is like, everybody, let's go. The Vermisian sage ghost like shuffles her notes and like gets up and leaves with the group. The other ghost.
Oh my god, I want to talk to this ghost so bad.
The other ghost, the one that just did the scream, like just stays but is no longer screeching. Yeah, you thank them.
Great.
They're
So I
done.
usher everybody out of the room.
I
Yeah.
would be standing like as close to the door as possible because I am trying to overhear it.
I'm gonna go talk with Alvi.
Okay.
Do you want to do that first?
We'll
or-
do it after, I guess. It's not like super
I
important.
just didn't know if I should stick this steak in my mouth right when you were going to ask me a question or something. So
Stake it up.
I don't want to be like, yeah.
I when after scene with Bertold and Theon is over, Theon Greyjoy.
Yep.
I would like to have like one quick conversation with Byron.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So back in the room. Now it's just Bertold, Thean, and the screaming ghost. Well, the one screaming ghost.
What's their name?
You don't know.
I will ask
Scream
when
call
I am
him.
done my investigation.
Okay. I'm very sorry for that, Thean. There should be no more distractions now. So you were murdered. That is good to know. Do you know why? you could have been targeted?
All I know is this Queen of Excess was another idol, and I guess I don't know, because look, not to brag, but I kind of had a good relationship going with the Swan, who's like a big deal. And I think that it's
Oh,
like pretty unlikely that the Swan and this Queen of Excess, like, well, first of all, she's just not on his caliber. You know what I mean? But second of all, there's no way he would have sent someone after me. Like, if he wanted me dead, he would have done the honors himself. And what an honor it would have been, okay? So I don't know what that's about. I don't know why she would want me dead, but maybe it's like some sort of like rival idol thing where it's like who gets the better kill, who's like got a more personal kill, you know? Ava's
that is
Ava's mad. She's gotta go.
interesting. So, so Theon, you bring up the Swan, and I must say, I am a huge fan of the Swan and their work. I did not know that you knew them personally.
Yeah,
That is
like like I said, not to brag, but like kind of close.
so okay. So someone in the Morticians has to carry on your work with the Swan, right?
Well,
It
so like here's the thing. With all that shit that went down in New Heaven with the Swan,
yeah.
it all kind of got shut down anyway. So it's been like a couple weeks really since I've gotten to see Callisto, which is why I wasn't really sure um what was going on when the Queen of Excess or whatever showed up, because it's just like very unusual with like the crackdown on like idols or whatever in New Heaven.
Mm. So I mean, if the Swan and you were close, the Swan probably needs I would if you would be okay with it, I would love to in your honor fill that vacancy, and not only that, but I will bring a Swan, uh, the head of this Queen of Excess, who has brutally murdered the Swan's close friend, close associate. Um, I
Here's
would be
some
very happy to
insider
do.
information for how to get in with him. It's not her head that he'll want, okay? It's her heart. So the not in like a metaphorical way either. I'm talking about like her organ, the heart that is in her body.
Okay, that is a great insider tip. I wouldn't have thought of that, and then, I would have made a fool of myself. So thank you for that. Um, how once I have a heart, who do I take it to? Is there a go-between, or could I bring it directly to the Swan? Would they think that that was an okay thing to do? I don't want to be disrespectful.
In the past, he's always like come to New Heaven to find me. Because I would like give him the things he needed to like do his art. So like, the rib crackers and the other things, you know, obviously, like the morticians, like we have the best materials for that. And so to make his art kind of as good as it could be, he needed the best possible options for like, sawing bodies open, things like that. So that was really my role. And like so he would usually come to me. I'm trying to think if you wanted to get in touch with him. Honestly, if you wanted to make like a big bloody scene somewhere as like a gesture, I think that would go over pretty well. Like it would be a clear sign to him that you were like trying to, get in contact.
Hmm. And like, who would I want to go after? You know, if I was going to make this big bloody spectacle, is there like a specific group I should target, or is it just, you know, the more mayhems the better?
Look, he doesn't like people. He's got, rightfully so, he kind of thinks that he's a big deal, which he is. So he doesn't like
Hmm.
it when people make fun of him or slander him or
Oh my
say,
god, he's an incel. Sorry.
I mean, probably. Like, you know, if
Yep. Yep.
any other idols who kind of rival him, um, like he can get kind of jealous. So, and
Mm.
especially if they like say bad things about him, um, or like talk themselves up, but never like say anything good about like their fellow idols. Like he doesn't like that. You know, it's very narcissistic of them.
Yeah. Oh, so that's why the Swan went after Chu's manager. I read about it in the paper. Okay,
Yeah, that totally
that makes sense
tracks.
now.
Yeah, yeah, totally tracks.
Yeah. Okay. This makes sense now. I understand the Swan so much more now. Oh, wonderful.
Isn't his art just
Um,
like peak? Listen, if you want to use my body as like part of the message to the Swan, I would totally love that. You could do that.
if that would put your body at rest, I would love nothing more than to make your last uh, act as a corporal entity, a piece of artwork to the Swan. I think that would be wonderful.
That's
Just
Um,
fully bloody and dismembered and gross.
yeah.
Oh, and nothing.
oh, wow! Just I'm so happy that I can put you to rest in a wonderful way. Just it would be a great send off. Where would you like to be displayed?
Well, most of his work is in Perch these days. I think, you know,
Hmm.
I don't really know what that's about because he worked all over before, but now it's like he's always in Perch. And I think like the last time that he and I talked, he was saying that there was like some really annoying person who was always like telling him what to do and stuff. And I was like, well, why even listen to that person? Like, just, you know, you're the artist, just go and, but, you know, I'm not really sure what that was about, but I think that that's why he's been in Perch so much. So probably if you put my body in Perch, he would see it, considering that's where like most of his work is these days.
Hmm. That is good to know. Oh, great. So I will make some preparations. I will come back to collect you, and uh, we will uh, we will put you to rest. This is wonderful. Is there anything that you wish? I can leave a note to the Swan from you. Is there anything that you would like me to say in it? A final farewell, perhaps? Anything of that nature?
Uh, yeah, tell him, find a way to tell him that it was Chu who killed me
Mhm.
and that all I the last hmm, the weeks between last seeing him and dying were the worst of my life. But being able to be made into art for him after death has redeemed me.
I will
I'm just gonna jot that down on a little note card
Post
kind of
it.
placard, and just yeah. Um, and I'm just gonna stow that away for now, until it's probably nightfall. I don't want to be doing this in broad daylight. Um, so I will leave you now to I guess spend some quality time with the sages around here. Um, and I will be back to collect you at some time in the night. Um, I'm very happy to secure uh, your final resting place and your your greatest masterpiece that you will ever be a part of. Just
Bertold, and he like reaches out a hand like to kind of to shake.
Mhm.
You shake it. You can
Yeah,
interact with,
shake
yeah,
it.
okay, yeah. They and he
Yes,
goes,
yep.
I couldn't have imagined a better person to find me and finish this business. Thank you.
It will be done. And I'm gonna go back to the group. Oh wait, sorry. Before I do that, I'm gonna just shuffle towards the screaming banshee. Um, Hello. A friend of mine wished to know your name. Um, they apparently use this place for work. They want to chat with you from time to time, I suppose.
This figure, again, figuratively faceless, like kind of looks
Mhm.
at you, very vague impression of a person here, and just like shrinks down and goes inside of an ink pot on Alvy's desk and just
Mhm.
stays inside the ink pot and doesn't say anything. Just shrinks and sits inside the ink pot.
Okay.
Is
That
Pour
the
the
said,
banshee in
I'm
ink
my
gonna
ink
out.
pot?
go.
You
What?
gotta pour the ink out.
Yeah.
Did I
I'm
have a
gonna.
banshee in my ink pot?
No. No. Yeah. It's a walk it in your pocket. The banshee in my ink pot. Uh. Yeah. I'm gonna let that stay in there because I assumed that the screaming ghost is shy and I don't wanna fuck with that right now. So
Okay.
so yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out and rejoin.
Okay. So let's cut back. It would have been, I think, Alvi, you wanted to talk to Din? No, Chu.
No, I wanted to talk to
Chu
Alfie.
wanted to talk to Alvi.
So while he's doing that, I assume he's gonna promise him something ridiculous to get the information we need. But he started talking about proper burials and respecting the body and all that awfully droll stuff. And well, I was just wondering, with your great well of knowledge, Alvi, if you knew of a great way to not desecrate, but like trap a body in like a box for a long time while it decays alone in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, sure. I know many different embalming methods and things like that. I mean, I've never personally really done them, but I've read up on quite a few that if you would
Something
like to
really horrific.
either the whole body or just a part, we could cut
I
off
prefer
his.
like decay. Like I just want the body to decay naturally, slowly over time
But you
alone,
don't want to smell it constantly.
I mean, no, not I would rather it be away from people.
Okay. I think it's possible. I think it might be a good idea to talk about this to Anders and not to Bertold. I feel like Bertold wouldn't
Yeah.
take desecrating a body very well, but I don't feel like Anders would have as much of a reservations about that.
Good point. Good point.
I wouldn't bring this up at all to Bertold because it might bother him.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think that it's hard because I'm sure he did have to promise some things. I don't know what, but
Well,
also
that's the great
this
thing
man
about
was
promises.
genuinely terrible.
It's not even about that anymore.
Hmm.
This is my life. I kind of have to do this.
I
It feels
will
good.
think on it. I will
Thanks.
think on it. I will research it, and perhaps I will talk to Anders about it when he's back.
Yeah, we should all talk to Anders. Let's have an intervention. Anders, why doesn't Bertold desecrate bodies more?
I mean, the morticians are very, very
Well, there's your
specific.
problem.
Yeah. I mean, when he takes on a face, he takes on the everything of it. It's very important. So
Yeah.
otherwise, it would be a lot harder to act if he didn't also internalize all of the things.
Yeah. You hearing anything in there, Din?
Elise,
Yeah.
was I able
Yeah,
to hear
I
it?
think Alvy's like Alvy's workshop is not necessarily built to be soundproof, nor was there much intention when the group left to like close the door all the way and move away. So like you could easily have like left the door cracked, and like I don't think Bertold or Thean was like looking out for that or anything. So it would be very easy, I think, for Din to be overhearing everything Bertold is saying.
Okay, so I'm wearing the mask so you can't see it, but I'd be smug and I'd be like, I heard the whole thing. But I only heard one side of it, right?
Nice. You didn't even use a cup this time. That's getting better at this.
Joker's left the door open.
Ah,
Just
that must have been it, yeah.
Oh, so good. All right, and Edic, your conversation with Byron.
Mi diablo. I have a troubling question. If I was to perhaps desire to live a life eternal, would this be something you could bestow upon me? I preface, I do not specifically want this. I have deep, troubling woes that there is others who perhaps would be willing to take such means without realizing how deep in over their heads they are getting in doing so.
There is kind of a longish pause before Byron responds. And when he does, give me a second.
Just more screaming.
When he does, he sounds very, I don't know, reluctant maybe. It's not reluctant to share specifically with you, but that like this is uncomfortable territory to talk about for him. I think there are ways that other demons would take. I think what happened to your friend Rauka was not so dissimilar to what some might pursue to find such an answer, but it's not exactly the same, and it's what Rauka was symbiotic. What you describe is parasitic.
Interesting. What outside the kind of obvious necessity of an eidolon of a human or elf eidolon. Is there anything else that perhaps a demon would need in order to facilitate such a thing to happen?
A demon would not what an elf would need to facilitate this to happen is significant. Would take more than I know. It would take the right eidolon to be sure, but beyond that, it would take power, a lot of power, a lot of stealing from my home. And when he says my home, he's kind of speaking to like where demons come from, not specifically his personal home. Stealing the not things, but life from there.
I would not have expected this, but I think it makes sense. I understand your reluctance to divulge this information, but I am grateful. Byron, I will think on this. I believe there is much work to do. I think that's probably where the conversation would end.
Okay. As you come back and join the crew, Bertold, you see the sage, the ghost that is the sage, is standing next to Alvi, like just talking as if she is part of the conversation between Chu and Alvi. So like when there's like little pauses, she just like interjects like questions and things and like just like nods along and like listens and things.
I want this ghost to be my friend so bad, Elise.
So I walk up, like just mid conversation, like if the ghost is, the tip of the triangle, I'm just gonna kind of walk between Chu and Alvi talking. Just, hello.
Hi.
Do you want me to talk to them for you?
To talk to who for who?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
We're all here.
Hello.
Why do you keep saying hello to me? Bartholomew, are you okay?
I think he's
Or
talking to
Bertold,
another
sorry.
ghost.
No, that can't be the case. You would have told us.
Woody?
Can you just tell Alfie
You would think, right?
I have a few notes on one of her projects. It's just that she seemed, and like I don't even know what project this would be, but she gives you
Sure.
and it's probably something not related to all this, like maybe something Alfie worked on like 4 months ago, kind of thing, and like kind of got stumped and left aside, and this ghost just is like, and you're just like word processing, like like just spitting it out word for word, and you can see Alfie's mind just like
Bertold, I'm gonna need you to visit regularly to speak with. Did you get their name? Whoever this is, my lab partner that I can't see or hear.
Oh, you can tell her my name is Dissa, and I really like it when she leaves those little dried fruits out, the ones that are sugared, because I kind of go like this and fly over them, and I can kind of taste the sugary fruit on my tongue a little bit. So if you could just tell her that would be nice.
As you relay all of these things to me, I am just furiously writing, just like sugared fruits and all of these things. Like, no, I'm serious. You're coming back here. This is an amazing discovery that I'm not letting go away.
And then she pauses. She's like,
Um,
and then maybe you met the other ghost that's in there sometimes. They don't really talk very much. Sometimes they do that thing where they scream. And then they usually hide a lot, and that's about it.
Oh, that's good to know. They're in the ink bottle right now. If you needed
Oh,
to
what's in my
know where
ink
they
bottle?
Yeah, that's they spend
were.
a lot of time in the ink bottle. And sometimes there's this one
Hmm.
book that some moths have eaten a little bit, and they sit inside the moth holes.
Sure. No, that sounds comfortable. Yes. Um, hmm, hmm. Well, it was lovely meeting you. I must really be off, but if I visit again, which I am told is that I must, so I will be seeing you again, and I look
I'll
forward to
make tea.
facilitating uh, conversation. The tea would be lovely.
I
Thank
like
you.
tea.
Um, yes, everyone is good for tea. Um, that would be that would be good. Um, Good. Lovely meeting you. Uh, um, Now, I say shouting loud enough so that so that Thean can probably hear me
Okay.
on the other end of the door.
Hmm.
Now, you ruffians, I am to go and to discuss the terms of the release of one of my superiors. Now, if you will follow me, I have a lot of paperwork and a decent amount of coin, and I just start, you know,
She was gonna nod and be like, "Good show,
marching.
good
But,
show.
you know,
He's definitely buying it," and like walk out.
Dissa waves to you as you leave. Goodbye. And with that, let's take a break. So good timing. Let's take a 10-minute break. We will be back at 8:12 Mountain Time, which is 10:12 Eastern Time. And yeah, thanks everybody for being here. We'll see you in 10 minutes. Say bye.
Bye, everybody. Have fun
Lamp.
peeing.
Lamp.
Lamp.
Bye. Hello? Hello. Hi,
We're
everybody.
back,
We're back.
with devastating news.
Devastating news. The GM is a tyrant.
It's so hard to make a body part an item unless it's in a trunk full of other body parts.
How could you, Elise?
I
I know. I'm just kidding. It's fine.
What will she do?
The stream ever gonna go live? Like, I feel like the delay is
Oh,
very
it's
long.
live on
It's
my
live.
side. It's live.
It's live
Okay.
for me. Yeah.
Mine still
I think
says
you
we'll
just
be right
have a
back.
super long
Try
delay.
Mine just has
refreshing.
really long. No, it's okay. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yours is
Sometimes
always a
it's
long
all
delay, though.
It does
fuzzy.
seem
On other
to.
streams, too.
I'm gonna refresh it, like you said. Anyway, hi, we're back. Okay. We have just concluded interrogating the. Well, actually, it was just a very friendly chat with the ghost of Thean, and also a couple other ghosts, just for bonus fun. And yeah, the crew is now. I don't need like a name. I'm calling you like the team, the crew, but the crew is now just kind of chilling and waiting, or has in outside of, and I presume we're headed back to Perch, which is kind of close to where Alfie's Vermisian workshop is located. So
Yeah, did we want to? Were we going to go back to somewhere private to talk about what we were going to do? Do we have a private place to talk? Can we just not? We can't just like go to that room. That
Our
Lukash
meeting
gave us
house
for?
is
Yeah, we can go to the
private.
meeting
Can
Yeah.
we go that anytime?
yeah,
or-
pretty much. I mean, like there are times when it's used for other things, but Lukash has indicated to you in the past that like if it's available, you can use it. It's definitely
Yeah,
like it's a bit of a ministry
Mhm.
hideout, right? And so you kind of have access to it when it's not being used for other functions.
Sometimes we show up and someone's practicing trombone inside, and you're just like, oh, damn, gotta come back later.
Yeah, exactly.
but it's really
Trombone-
bad. It's just like
Yeah, it's very bad trombone playing.
I realize my bad trombone playing probably didn't come in because my microphone doesn't like to pick up my high pitched noises. It's fine.
So we're all going back to our ministry clubhouse. It occurs to me over the table that based on the last conversation that was just had, that between Bertold and Thean, that we're probably going to want to make some big effigy out of Thean's body to attract the swan.
I'm assuming that he didn't tell us anything until we get back into this office. Because
Yeah.
I don't think he wanted Thean to hear us.
I'm not saying a fucking thing out in public.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why don't we
my
have
guess
this
is
conversation
we'll tell
in
us.
character?
Okay.
Back at the
Mhm.
ranch.
I was just about to say that.
Meanwhile,
Sorry.
back at the ranch, our heroes. Yeah, so you reconvene, and I'll let you take it from there to have Bertold catch you up. If you want to do like I tell them everything that happened, right? That's fine with me, but or you can walk through like what piece you would convey.
Quick question before that. My class refresh is to gain an advantage by posing as someone I'm not.
Yeah, definitely.
Would the awesome,
Yes.
great,
That definitely counts.
great. I'm gonna be
That would
asking that a lot because
require.
boy, do I take a lot of mind stress with this character.
Wouldn't that require Anders to like admit that he is not Bertold?
So the class specifically says that you get that you are and are not your cover, right?
Mhm.
So like
okay.
Anders exists when Bertold exists. Like Anders is aware of who he is at all times.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think
I
that
wasn't aware of the are and are not. I thought it was just
Yes.
we are like
Yep.
each other. That's I was like, oh, okay, cool.
So how much can I refresh for?
D20, go wild.
That'd be great.
Oh, sorry, I was distracted by these promises being made in chat that I'm excited about. I need that soundboard, Sarah, so we can have this and also like sky wheels don't make noise. That was canonically established at season 1. But what was the other one we were gonna? Oh, goat noises and things like that.
Yes.
I always just send you a YouTube video, but that's not as good as a soundboard.
Yeah, I can just
You just need to become Gene Belcher.
yes.
Oh, I love that show. I love Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers is
It's
bomb.
the best.
It is
Shout
very
out
good.
Bob's Burgers.
Shout out Bob's Burgers. This episode
Sponsor
is
of
sponsored by
today's
This
episode.
sponsor of today's episode. That and ants on a log.
Yeah. Oh boy. Hey, work emails, go away. What was I gonna say? I wanted to check also. Alfie, I don't know if you have any stress, but I think
don't.
that okay, the uncover hidden information, I think this giving you your little thing would have counted as a small refresh,
Mm.
but
That would have been real
Cute.
cool.
okay.
kind
Okay, yeah, so you're back safely at the kind of meeting room that Lukash uses to meet you and sometimes for trombone practice. Yeah.
As a trombonist, I am intrigued by this.
Do you play trombone?
It's my main instrument.
Oh, nice.
Yum. Don't try to lie to us. I heard everything. Tell us what he said.
Well, if you heard everything,
I
then
heard
you
your
would know
side.
what he said. That's so you heard half a conversation.
Can
I'm
we
just
talk to
saying,
Anders?
You can't lie about what you said.
Well, first let's have Bertold tell us.
I wasn't.
Bertold is
yeah,
a nice
yes, I
person.
can-
He's not.
I-
he's
Bertold
not-
is a mortician. Do you see the conflict of interest?
Well, first let's just find out what the conversation that Bertold had, and then we can move on from there. Yeah?
Okay.
So I found out some things. All of them interesting, none of them good. But I did learn is that Callisto Brox is indeed the swan. Or at least is the name that that they used when in contact with Theon. So talked with Theon as to how to get the attention of the swan, posing as a fan of the swan, and basically Theon has requested that their last moments as a corporal material on this great city be that we make him a work of art so that this one can see it, get their attention. And I also have a little placard here, and I'm going to pull out the little note card that I made. This is his final words to this one. I'm just going to add a little bit more, like, my personal information, not my real personal information, but, you know. So probably best to do this under cover of darkness. I know someone who is very good at the desecrating, but are any of you good at the desecrating of the body?
I have a question.
I hopefully have an answer.
He says he wishes to become a piece of art for this one.
Yes. Yes.
You may not know this yet of me, but in an alternate life, I am an artist. And, or
Oh.
rather, I moonlight as one. We do not need to go into many
Was it-
details. However, I the dismemberment and sculpting of a corpse is not necessarily my speciality. But I could perhaps see what I could do, so long as this does not come back onto my name as an artist.
Does the,
Hmm.
does the placard say? This is a Rachel asking, I guess. You showed it to us, and I know that his request was that it said Chu killed him. Did you write that on the thing, or?
Yes, I did.
Oh. Okay. So Alvy's gonna look at that and be like, well, we can't. No. But Bertold, you know that we can't out Chu as the murderer, right? You know that.
well, there is no reward without the risk. So,
Yes, but we
Chu
work
is
for the
very capable of.
ministry. You can't just out fellow ministry workers for murder.
We could
Well,
say
I'm not.
we could say that Chu is to die for. Eh?
No.
Okay.
Everyone
Okay.
knows I'm to
Okay,
die
we could-
for. That wouldn't be spicy enough.
We could postpone a few days. Chu, you could teach me the how to be you can teach Anders. I really have no interest. I would much prefer reading, but you could teach Anders the wonders that is performing live in front of the Spire studio audience, and that perhaps the new the new face of Anders could take the hit, so to speak, and we could go from there. We can use that name. It is good to have the carrot ahead of the rabbit, to entice the swan to meet with someone who is very who wants to be the new friend, which is me. Even though I need to make it very clear, I do not want to be the swan's friend. This is me getting closer to the swan that we can stop this one.
Chu is
It's
gonna just be like,
subterfuge.
Right now, actually, as Bertold is kind of rambling about this, the door slams open.
the trombonist.
And Lukash stumbles in, and they're like, they run in, they see you all sitting there and like kind of like jump back, like take a defensive stance, as the door kind of closes behind them, and then like sees that it's y'all and like stops and like bends over. They're like breathing heavily, like they've been running. And they kind of like keep looking over their shoulder, like they expect someone maybe is following them. And they're like, oh my God, thank God you're here.
What happened, Kramer?
Did you decide between Ichi Jim
It's not.
and the other?
It is the worst possible time for you all to be making these. Look, and
what
like
happens? Tell us.
pulls out from like a pocket, and puts on the table a note, and the note is addressed to Callisto, and he's Lukash says they caught a messenger for the swan. And opens the note up, and it is a picture of a drow person. And it says like your next target underneath. And at first, like, the meaning of this is not very clear to you all. And after like a pause when no one really reacts, Lukash kind of like nods to themselves and unwraps their face, which they have never done before. And Lukash's face is the next target of the swan.
Oh
Um,
no.
I
No, Luke, gosh, they're my favorite character.
I I don't know if messengers going to the swan, if there's a fail-safe system where he doesn't get the note or the target, he would get another one, or if, but I don't feel like gambling my life on us intercepting this once.
Because I have a feeling that you weren't chosen at random, so if one messenger doesn't get through, another from the source most likely will.
If you weren't chosen at random, why you?
Maybe they know we're investigating them.
If
It was Lukash that researched Callisto blocks, no?
Did you get made?
I didn't think I did, but it's interesting that if that's what happened, then I got made from the outside, because it's not Callisto who's just following me to kill me one day. It's whoever is pulling Callisto's strings, sending him a message telling him to kill me.
Raukas, Demon Bay. I don't remember
would
what his name.
never.
It could
what
be
their
the
name was.
Elfir as well, though. Like that Elfir woman. I think you said it was a woman who wanted body parts.
Yeah, but no, she doesn't want body parts.
Oh, she wanted a different
Yeah,
method, right?
but I mean,
Mhm.
what was your demon's name?
Ashira.
Shira?
Ashira. Ashira would know about
Ashira. Ashira.
Rukash.
I don't think Ashira would. I guess I know Rauka more than I know
Well,
Ashira.
But
I
Ashira
can't-
did. Well, I guess I don't know that. Never mind.
Do you need a place to
Lukash,
hide?
can I?
Sorry.
I was going to ask where you went to try to gather information.
Well, I went to first I just talked to the staff for Lorelei's thing, her performance, whatever. I tried to make it sound like I was just asking after whether or not I could hire her, and asked about kind of her history and what types of performances she'd done before. And then I kind of did the same thing for Callisto. It's hard to get to Callisto's staff. I mean, he's a little bigger than Lorelei most of the time, and is, I don't know
Oh,
if
and
you've
he's
ever.
the Spawn.
Yeah, it sure seems that way, doesn't it?
Oh no, we found out from a ghost.
Yeah, and they point to the paper where their face is like being, yeah. Yeah, it just, I thought this also kind of helped confirm, but you found out from, okay. But the thing is, Callisto's home is not in Perch. It's in this, it's in, I need to remember where it is. The Silver Quarter.
Gas.
So, you know,
Oh.
it took a little more effort to like get out there and ask. But I don't know, because I mean, people go to ask about performances and stuff. I didn't use my real name. Nobody saw my face. I'm not sure how that could have resulted in. And again, they gesture at the paper on the table.
So, Lukash, do you have somewhere to hide?
There's always places to hide. I can go somewhere.
You will hide, right?
Yes,
While we
like
figure
us
this
to
out.
escort you there.
Lukash, I am not as these others in this room right now. You know this. But my interest in your life is very, very high because you have much repayment to do. If you do not exist, I no get repayment. So we must figure out
Wow.
a safe place for you.
You could always stay with Itchy Jim.
I don't want to stay with Itchy Jim. There are places I can lay low. There's an
And you
entire.
will. You
The
will.
fleas
You
are
promise?
not that bad.
Lukash, you will.
I will.
You will.
Oh, I've got a perfect plan. Anders, Berthold, you can take faces, take Lukash's if you get killed, at least he's not dead.
So
That's
let's
a
not
good
kill my
point.
friend, please, if we could not. I don't have many of them. And I'd
Could we
appreciate it
talk
if they stayed alive. Din,
with
thank you.
Anders?
Tin, that is a really good idea. The right is not always exact. I might be able to get very close to passing, at least mannerisms, things like that. As
We're
Lukash,
not
I
going to
cannot promise that
sacrifice you as
facial
Lukash.
detail
Bertold,
and hair.
Bertold.
And things.
Bertold.
Yes.
We're not
Yes.
going to sacrifice you as Lukash. Din was
Oh no, I can.
Din was
I can
joking
handle
because
myself.
so new.
I wasn't
Lombre.
joking.
We're not
I
going
know
to
you weren't. Tim.
sacrifice
It
you.
is a good plan. It is a
Lukash.
very solid plan.
I liked your
Um,
plan about becoming an idol. Let's concentrate on that one.
Okay, here's a better
Oh,
plan. Can we
yes.
talk? Can we? I have things to suggest, but I'd rather suggest them to Anders. I need the expertise that
okay.
Anders provides.
Okay. Could you just give me 5 minutes? Does anyone else have anything to say to me before I leave? It was great meeting you all, by the way. Very, very lovely people.
It was nice to
Yeah.
see you,
Um,
Bertold.
It's been a pleasure. I'm glad you're
Insight
Yes,
not
check.
dead.
I'm just doing like a coin roll, but it's my knife on my fingers, just like
good.
Chu will be
Good.
like, it's really good to know that you can talk to the dead because that makes our job a lot easier.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. What? Lukash?
I have a question for Lukash. Lukash, two questions actually. First, where in your mind is the safest place for you to go right now to get undercover?
If I told you, it would become less safe. So I
I
think
like this answer. This is almost as good as my answer. Secondary question in response to how much do you value your life?
is this a trick to
It's
get
like
me
a
to say
threat.
like a number and then you tell me that's how much I owe you or something? Because I'm actually like way less concerned with whatever you think I owe you and way more concerned with the fact that like an assassin has been given a hit
Lukash,
with my name and face and they're gonna pry my
Lukash,
heart out of my chest.
I realize me asking this question was perhaps not with the best tact. But
No, it definitely wasn't. You come off really awful when you did it, actually.
oh, thank you. What I
I was
would
starting to like
what
you,
I
but now
would-
the meter has really gone down because you seem fairly
I-
selfish and only
Okay,
care
Wow.
about yourself.
what I would like to suggest is I have the most secure place of residence. I do not think you have ever been there. However, no one can get in or out without my explicit permission. I would invite you to stay there if unless you need a means to get out.
Don't do it. You'll owe them too much.
I I think they kind of they pause and like kind of weigh this. The place I have in mind is similarly secure at somewhere I need to go anyway. I would be surrounded by friends, you might say. To those of you who are ministers in the room, which is everyone but Edik, this is kind of the kind of talk that would make you think like Lukash is talking about going to like ministry strongholds. There's really only one. It is the cathedral, like underneath the cathedral. There is kind of a second underground cathedral to Lekale. That's not right, to Lombre. Underneath the like main cathedral to Limye, who's the legal deity of the moon, there is kind of an illegal ministry stronghold that is a cathedral to Lombre, the one that the ministers worship. And kind of saying like surrounded by friends and like only certain people can get in. Like this would reminisce for you all, or bring to mind for you all the rites of passage and things that you all did as becoming ministers. So yeah, so and Lukash says it's it's not that I don't want the extra protection of being hidden with you. It's a very kind offer, Edik. It's that I think that I could still do good for the ministry. And I know you aren't a minister, so maybe that doesn't mean as much to you as it means to me, but I could do something good while I'm waiting for you all to help with whatever is happening here. And they kind of like again, their face is unwrapped and is very unusual because you're not used to seeing like so much kind of facial expression or anything from Lukash. This is like a very vulnerable thing essentially, and like kind of like looks around a little like scared and is like, will you help? Will you can this is I mean, I know technically I can like tell you to like do this or whatever, but like I don't know, it just seems wrong to ask for personal reasons instead of ministry reasons.
This is understandable. However, you will find no place more secure in Spire than my abode. But, I understand. And it's fine. It's fine.
If security were my only concern, I would take you up on the offer, but
has Anders been like transforming during this? Or I guess
Yeah. So during that whole conversation, Bertold has just kind of been muttering to himself, pacing. You see him very slowly change back into Anders. Takes off the robe, has that black cloak underneath, and just kind of sits down for the remainder of the conversation. Just listens.
Just wave.
so. After that seems to wrap up a little bit, she was gonna kind of like tap her hand on the table and just be like, so to bring things back around, now that we are in better company, I believe the plan was to desecrate the body as a show for this swan and frame me for an unjust murder, right?
Well, I thought we were going to frame a new idol that Anders would try and become, possibly.
Well, I don't know if that will work that well, right? I think what might work better is if we desecrate the body, put it somewhere where no one will ever find it alone elsewhere, and then we get a new body and we desecrate that one, and I put on a show and I challenge the swan in his own style. for.
Why do we need a new body?
We have a. I mean, why is that the question?
I'm just wondering why we need a second corpse. We got a perfectly good one.
Because that
in the
corpse has a
vault
lot of
right now.
heat on it. We don't want to put a show on a corpse that was just murdered in like 10 days ago or
Yeah,
whatever.
he is a
Like,
very high up mortician.
let's
It
just
might not
grab
be
some
good.
random person. I'm great at that. I'll throw a small an impromptu party. I make everybody like drunk and woo, and then we snatch one cute person, take him out back,
Whoa, whoa,
stabby
whoa, whoa, whoa,
stab.
whoa, whoa, whoa! We're not gonna actually kill somebody that's innocent. We could find a body, right? We're not just gonna
Did you
kill.
just say one cute person?
That's what
Like,
she does. She kills
I know.
attractive people.
Okay, just checking.
Just looking for a cutie.
Just looking for a cutie out there. All the
I-
cuties say yo. Take a
She
shot
goes-
and go in the alley.
I don't know that I could sanction killing to catch a killer. That seems
I
to
mean,
make
you
us
realize
just as bad.
ministry, like 90% of what we do is
No, but-
sanctioning.
But we don't kill just random people. We kill terrible people.
Well, let's find
I
a
don't
bad
kill anybody.
person
I'm
and
not.
invite them
That's
to the concert. I mean,
Is
surely
it-
we know a bad person.
Lukash, is there a way that the ministry could deliver us a body?
What? No. That takes all the
Uh,
fun out of it.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry. True, I did not realize we were doing this for the fun of it.
I mean, why else?
I don't. I can't.
Anders
I
is
can't
like
be an innocent
noticeably just
party.
kind of twitching a bit.
Like, what if it's a really bad person, but they're just really attractive?
What are we doing? Why a body? You want?
Or um,
For the art.
Well,
If
he
you
said the
need it.
best way to get in with the swan was to do a piece of art that was similar to his, right? That was the idea.
That's what Thean was saying. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Also, the best way to piss him off would be to call him out. So
call him out for what?
I'm just as a better artist, as a better idol.
Challenge him for a collaboration,
He has a fragile ego, from what I understand. The problem I'm running into here is you want to desecrate the corpse, create the artwork, and have the concert or performance or whatever you want to call it. So you're trying to get his good graces there, or you're trying to piss him off, because we should lean heavily one way or another. Do
I
both
don't
at the same time could send
understand what you're talking
a
about.
weird message. So if we want his attention in a good way, desecrate the corpse, make the artwork, put it out there for him, he sees it, hopefully gets in touch with us. If we want to piss him off, do your performance, you call him out, you say you're a far superior idol.
That's not what
have
I'm
your
saying we
fans,
do. I'm not saying I
right.
throw down with him. I'm just saying I do a performance, and then the last the big hoopla of the thing is we advertise it as towards the people who like the swan, and then at the end of it we have the big art piece where the body drops down and it's all fucked up and it's hung up and perched somewhere, and we mimic his style a little bit and call him out for a collaboration.
My thought is that
He is an artist. I mean, he
My
might be a
thought-
terrible one, but he is an artist.
But my thought is that it'd be best if we remained more anonymous than I like
I
the
am
idea.
anything but anonymous.
That's true. It's fine. But in your associations with the ministry, anonymity is important in associating with those kinds of things. And I think your idea is definitely not a bad one, but I feel like it overcomplicates when we have a simpler solution.
The simpler solution being let's throw a body out there with a message that says meet us here.
I mean, if we're trusting what Thean said, that he knew him fairly well and what would entice him.
So to throw Theon's body, Then how
What?
are we going to get him to meet us?
Just curious, what are you going to do when the swan you get to the swan?
Kill him and then talk to his ghost? Worked
Okay.
last
Well,
time.
there are any
I hate that
number.
that's options.
There are any number of possible options for restrainment. This is something. This is a bridge we can cross when we get there.
And we believe that he's not, while he is doing the things, that there is something else behind him, right? So if we could hopefully find and capture and get more information.
I'll say this. Given the nature of the swan, I don't think it's wise. Okay, one, we just framed this swan for this guy's murder. If we're gonna display his body and then be like, come hit us up, swan, I think that has some like aspersions on it. That. Two, I think given the nature of the swan, if we meet with him and then like try to restrain him and force his hand, like I don't see the swan as somebody who's gonna be like, oh geez, gauze, shucks, I'm dead. Like sure, I'll give you everything you want, or like, oh no, you got me tied up. Like here's all the like answers. Like I do not see the guy who eats hearts as that kind of person. I would feel like it would be a lot better for us to just get in tight with him and then work our way up the ladder.
We
Right.
could perhaps make, in the process of making this work of art out of Sion's corpse, we could make his body unrecognizable.
I mean,
then it could just be anyone's body, not Dean's.
Until a mortician talks to his ghosts, and then he goes, "It was Chew."
Actually, morticians generally can't talk to ghosts. As far as I understand it, Bertold is just special.
He's special, Bertold. Is this true?
With enough study, mortician can. It's not common, but certainly. And if it's not a mortician, it's probably someone who dabbles in the occult. So I'm sure that given that the swan is drowning in sulfur and dreck, that occult magic isn't too far out of their wheelhouse, or at least someone that they would know. My worry with all this is that I do agree with you, Chu, and I do think that to some extent the swan is technically a small fish. There is someone pulling the strings. There is someone, Lukash, sending those notes for targets. We don't want the puppet. We want the puppet master. So killing the puppet, ripping the strings clean off, that's not gonna get us anywhere. It's just another corpse. And there's always more swans out there, always more killers who fancy themselves artists. So this problem could start up again if we don't get to the top. So I vote definitely not killing. People are always better off alive, and they can give you information.
I think it depends on the person,
It'd be interesting if we had him, maybe a couple days ago. Just say.
Is sulfur addicting?
Yes. Most
Is there
addictive.
withdrawal?
Painful.
Seems like a pretty good interrogation method. Just saying.
I think Chew's plan has merit. Sometimes hiding in plain sight is best of all. I don't know necessarily that we need to prepare to kill, but offering a collaboration, saying, oh, we could be the same, we could do the same type of art, their attention, get a, backstage pass, so to speak.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's all about violence. I'm all about excess. I think it's a good match. from like a marketing idol perspective. You know?
I got another face that we might be able to put to work.
A
If we wanted to
manager?
get our hands, no, not a manager. I'm sorry. As I've said before, don't have a manager face for you. No, this is a face that's been well, he's been in prison for a good stint while I was a mortician. Runs with Mr. Winter's gang in Red Row, and is a avid member of the Church of the Gun in Red Row. So he, can probably fit in with a rougher crowd if we were trying to get closer to those that might be very loyal to our murderous friend. It's got a lot of risks. Shu, putting yourself out there, because even if you're trying to extend the olive branch, the Swan might still take it as a, oh well, you do it better than me. Might wound their pride and make them a little more hostile
I
than
can't
we would
help it if
like.
I'm
But
amazing at art.
you also can't help his fragile ego. So there's things to think about. Unfortunately, Lukash, terribly sorry for the hand you've been dealt.
It was pretty
Hope they
startling
don't
to
get you.
get, but I think between having my face wrapped for now and being on my way out, I think I can get where I need to go safely. I might work on getting there if you all have this handled.
Lukash, I have one final question. How many people do you think would recognize the face in this picture?
Enough. I mean, it's I, like all of us, wear these types of things to protect from the sun and a little bit to protect my identity around you all because the business we're in, but just as often I don't wear them. It's not common at night or when it's cloudy. It's just as well to have your face out in the open air, so I think it would be fairly easy to track me down in Perch.
This is interesting. It may influence the future advances that I take in the book.
What's an advance? Cool. So what are we doing though?
You're going to get on stage and tell the Swan that I need to be your manager.
Swan, I like your spunk.
You took
Plan
my manager.
shows for me. Yeah.
Oh, you are my manager.
You keep what you kill in this world. You're my manager now, Swan.
It's the Santa Claus clause, right? Like if you
Yeah.
kill Santa Claus, you have to become Santa Claus. Yeah.
I was thinking of like
Does that mean
like
Chu is the head mortician now? Or a high up mortician now?
well, just
Here's
a
my
mortician.
manager's
Theon's
suit
not.
and his
Oh,
mustache.
I thought he was a higher up one.
He is just more senior than the little ones that you met. Have more access than them.
You mean Baby Halim?
Yes, Baby Halim and Mara, who are still initiates, but Theon I wouldn't say was remarkable in any particular way. It was just kind of a middle of the road. The mortician. Yeah.
He was remarkable in one particular way. Anyway.
I think that if obviously I will go along with what everybody would like to do. I don't think that I could stand by and be a part of a thing where a person was killed just to be killed to help us. That would probably be a struggle for me.
You were already part of it. We already killed one guy.
Yeah, but he was horrible.
We'll just find a horrible person.
Why do you need another body? I thought we weren't
Because we
doing
framed
the body.
I
swan
don't-
for-
By
I
we,
don't
I do mean
understand
you.
why we need the extra body.
Because
We
the idea is we framed the swan for the killing of Theon, and if we then use the body to entice the swan, then it'll be obvious that the swan didn't kill Theon. I believe is the argument.
You could spin it that the Swan has sanctioned this artwork, or it's done in their honor. The body could have been killed by the Swan and transported to Chew.
But
But
also,
were we just talking
that's
about
an-
not pissing him off though? Like now we're just gonna straight up lie and be like, he gave us this body.
right, and also I feel like Chu admitting to killing somebody versus Chu admitting to killing a mortician is a little different.
So sooner or later, it's probably gonna get out that no one saw the Swan in the mortician's
Swan
office
was
at New
pretty
Haven,
low
and
key though.
Yeah, generally speaking,
And the
nobody
last
has seen
person-
this one.
the last person, or the last group of people that would have seen Theon would have been Chew and company.
We didn't give our name.
And then no one saw you, and then no one saw you leave.
I was hooded. They didn't. I was disguised like the whole time. I had my hood up and everything, and we didn't give my name as Chew.
That's fine. But descriptions make their way to people who can recognize faces, can spot someone in a crowd.
Well, I
And,
didn't talk to anybody either. I had was it Alvy?
you were there though, weren't you?
Well, yeah, but I mean, so was the
Or
Swan,
you
and
po-
people didn't know about him.
Were you posing as an idol to
No, I
Dr.
wasn't.
Theon?
I was just posing as an important person.
All right, so still an important figure comes in, and then Theon dies. Worry
Yeah.
that can get traced back. That's just something we have to think about going forward. As this is,
Well, yeah, so it's like,
while
that
it
would
is a
be
sound
fine.
plan, it is a very loud one. It is not one that is quiet. This is a very public statement that you'd be making as to the Swan, a known murderer. So that's also
I
something
mean,
that you want to
I
think
s-
about in terms of your image.
I kill so many people. Like, I feel like we're getting hung up on the murder thing and the loud thing, and I am an idol who murders people. And I do sing and it's great, but like I think we all know that, right? Like we're all in the ministry. We all are cool with killing people if we have to, right? Like, and I don't think like the loud part would be using his body. If I'm just an idol, being loud is like the thing that I do. If I just get a random body and I'm like collab with the Swan, I don't think anybody's gonna think that's strange or weird. If I get the body of the guy that was we just framed the Swan for killing and use that, now that would be loud and also bad.
What if you said it was a gift?
But that
Swan
would
gave
just
you
like piss him
Theon's
off
body
because
as a
we're
gift?
Then we don't.
lying.
Yeah, we were saying we don't want to lie about the swan. I think that I'm actually
All right.
on the side of not using Theon's body for those reasons of not angering the swan by saying he did this thing, and also by not outing yourself as doing this thing when we just also covered it up. But
I again
right.
return to
So we can do both. Continue.
Okay.
Sorry.
I again return to just saying Lukash ministry probably has lots of bodies. Yes. Could we commandeer one for the purposes of making beautifully
Lena-
decrepit art?
Lena also pointed out that there's probably a lot of people who like want Chu to kill them. So
Itchy Jim. Please, my life as an
Yeah.
itchy Jim isn't worth it. I just want to be
Oh,
art. I'm
no.
so tired of being itchy.
Um, there would be ways to procure a body. Finding a way to have it delivered. It depends on where you want it, when you want it. But since I'm already probably going to see such friends, perhaps I could ask for this if something you'd be able to move on quickly once I have the arrangements made.
Chu is like visibly upset that she can't, like, that y'all aren't like cool with her just like killing a random fan. Over the table, I'm cool with us finding another body elsewhere, but I think Chu is just like, come on, like, it's what I like, just let me do it. Like,
Oh,
it's
for
gotta
sure.
be
And I
a
think
fresh body.
for
Chu-
Alfie,
Chu.
it's just very much that like my whole like deal with the ministry is just like academic, and like I don't like I'm
Yeah.
generally not like violent. I don't lie as much as I can. Like it's super like I just want to help and find
Well,
things
you
and
don't
do
have to
this stuff.
kill anyone. I'll do all the legwork.
I also
Mhm.
think that it's important to realize here too. You serve a very particular function, a pedestal for your idol, if you will, within the ministry. Whereas, and I am just saying, as an outsider, I notice these things. Whereas an Alvi or an Anders. I almost said Alders. I'm like, that's wrong. Anders. Or an Anders serve a more subversive role, right? Is these things that are different spectrums. We are all having to work together for this particular purpose. And I think that because of this, there is a necessity for compromise, accommodating the needs of the party. So I will ask if justice funds while you work with people who perhaps not so keen on being in the public eye, that we do something low key just for this one little death, huh?
Chu
Well,
is
I don't-
gonna roll her eyes and pull out like a silver coin and like kiss it and then like toss it to Etik and just be like, as long as the body is fresh.
And then I give the coin to Lukash.
And it
Okay.
crumbles into nothing
No,
in,
I didn't
in their
stop,
hand.
just kiss it. I had to take this I had to take stress to make it crumble.
Okay. They take the
Um,
coin and just like shrug and put it in their pocket.
As long as
Um,
the body's fresh.
it's-
It's my art. I have standards, damn it.
It's fine that we're, getting a body from the ministry, but you do remember that Bertold is a optician, right? It's a lot of bodies in New Heaven.
Bertold very much honors his craft, and I don't know that he would be willing to desecrate bodies that are up there and just give them to us to use at our own will, right? I mean,
He also seemed super willing to sell me out earlier.
Well, it would have been a knowing sellout, though. You would have been willing, be the uh, the swan would come, and then we would go from there. But that's a very sloppy plan. This one is much better. Bertold
and
is
I don't
far
want
more
to put
bookish than
Bertold
he
in a
is
position that he
tactical.
feels like he has to go against his actual beliefs as a mortician. I feel that Lukash can be helpful to us in a way that we don't have to make Bertold feel compromised.
Yeah,
For a-
Lukash. So that we don't have to kill a body. You go get us a fresh body. Feel free to kill it.
And Anders, this also kind of rings true to what you were just saying about keeping things on the DL. Right? If a body goes missing from the mortuaries, that could come back to Bertold. No. That would not be
Also,
good.
that would not be fresh. Again, like I am compromising that we don't have to kill a body, but I am an artist. It's gonna be my show.
Okay, all right.
I need a fresh body.
Look, y'all have to be ready to act. I'll get you a body.
Thank you.
How fresh
then
it
you'll
is
go into
depends on
hiding.
how quick you're. Well, I will go into hiding, and in so doing, also be able to facilitate the delivery of a body to.
Oh, I've seen her put on a show in 30 seconds. I feel like that won't be an issue.
Oh no, I want this one to be special if we're gonna
So,
be calling out.
But what I'm saying is that once I ask for a body delivered to you fresh, there is no communication between me and you telling you when the body's coming. So you're just going to have to wait and be prepared to act upon the delivery of a body. Because
Perfect.
that's
Can you
all
give
I
us-
can facilitate for you.
Can you give us 3 days?
I can wait 3 days to request it, and then it may be time before it is delivered.
Why
Then
do
give
we
us
need 3 days?
2 days. I need it. It's a big call. I mean, look, okay, I set
She
up an impromptu
doesn't
concert.
have a manager
Yes, I'm
either.
amazing and so
Oh,
cool.
for sure. Just over the table, if we take things
Oh,
for
yeah.
multiple days, we get fucked.
Wait, do we?
Yeah,
Yeah,
if we like
that
lay
was-
low,
that was gonna
that
be-
counts
yeah.
as laying
Essentially.
low and stuff
Mhm.
like that. So the longer that you take and pause in the game, the consequences come back to us.
Oh, I didn't think it
Mhm.
counted as laying low.
I mean, if
'Cause
you
we're
were
still-
I
doing
also
other
want to bring
things,
up-
you could.
Yeah.
But I don't really have any other leads. Oh,
Well, then
Jesus,
I guess,
what am I
oh god, over the table, do I
Um,
know how quickly I could set up like a concert in Perch, like with like
I mean, you've
cool
got
effects?
a
and, like-
mobile stage in your
Yeah.
pocket.
Too.
Yeah, but I need to be able to like string up a body and like prepare like a whole like because
I
I
feel like
assume like
You
we could,
have
if we all work together, we could do that pretty quickly too.
you also have party members that can warp reality.
yeah. Well, okay, so it's just like the like and again like I assume that she would know this. I don't know if I know. The Swan's performance, like I assume it's more than just like I have a body, now watch me stab it 20 times. Ha ha ha. Okay, everyone go home. Like I assume he like does like he like makes like whatever twisted, gory, like gross.
I was
That's
kind
fire,
of think I would suggest a corpse chandelier.
But you're very,
Swing
very
on it.
creative and quick and good on the spot. I don't see. I have plenty of faith in you that you could put something together quicker than in a couple of days.
Yeah, and keep in mind too that like when the swan kills people, like the swan kills people and is not witnessed, or insofar as there are witnesses, the witnesses are willing participants in the murder as spectacle and not people who would then go to the police or whatever to like report a murder or anything. This is to say that it's like it's done in private and these shows or insofar as they're shows or whatever, like it's unclear how they are done, right? But this isn't like the Swan's public performances are not like public executions, right? They are
What are his public performances?
I mean, they're probably still pretty gory and like, intense, but these murders that you would be like evoking. This is also like if you do this, like, yeah, that's just, something to consider is that like you're also, the more similar that it is to the Swan as assassin, killer, murders, serial killer, like the less it is necessarily like Callisto Brox's like idol face, and the more it is his like private show artiste face that you're kind of evoking.
Okay, question. I wonder, so using the instill emotions ability, which allows me to like cause an excess of a specific emotion, could I whip the crowd up into like a violent frenzy and then like you said corpse chandelier, but like basically just like dangle like a body through the crowd as it like they tear it up, and then like at the end of the show just like hang it up and be like, ta-da, this is what my audience did, had nothing to do with it myself, they're crazy.
Yeah, yes. I mean, the details of what you want to do for this performance, I mean, entirely up to you. And like that's the
We could
Okay.
we could like
I was gonna also like have
we
the
could like
last title.
Jonestown it,
I don't know what
just-
Jonestown is.
God.
It's
Like a
Kool-Aid.
cult where the drink the Kool-Aid comes
Oh,
from.
Kool-Aid. That got it. Yeah.
and just make everyone
Mhm.
kill themselves.
That was
gruesomely.
no.
Melby won't
I've
go
already
along with
done
that.
that.
So
She already poisoned a group of people in a performance in her backstory before coming to Perch.
Oh, okay.
She
no,
already
I
jones down a
think-
group.
I think that you could put that together, not
Yeah,
think
I
it's
think
gonna
I
go
would have
along
an easy
fine.
time. I'll be fine. Yeah, as long as as long as like the DM says like it is possible to whip people into violent frenzy using instill emotions, then I can like I'm fine. I think I can nuance this like over the table confident. I'm good at it. I think in a way that won't get us in like too much trouble. I know Callisto Bronx performs in Perch. I so badly
Bronx.
wanted to perform, or yeah, whatever. I wanted to perform this on on the Sky Whale.
I mean,
And like, could you imagine? It's like it starts out and it's like woo, and then you get up to like New Heaven and there's just like a body that's just been like mangled, like hanging up, and like everybody's like killing each other on the Sky Whale.
You
would
could just like
certainly make a
arrive
statement.
fashionably late on the Skywell.
You could just throw a body
Maybe.
off the Sky Whale.
At least that it would certainly make a
Well-
statement. Now, is that a good thing or?
All right.
I like the idea of having the crowd destroy the body
Yeah,
somewhere
because then
here.
we're not culpable.
All right.
Okay. Lukash gathers.
So I'll just say one
Um,
day, Lukash. Give me one day.
I'll put in the request as best I can for you in a day, and we'll see what comes of it. And I'll keep an ear to the ground to see when things seem to be clear for me to come back. But for now, thank you and good luck. And they gather their things, wrap their face, and head out.
Bye, Lukash.
Well,
We
Flash,
miss you.
I hope we see you again.
Come back soon. We'll kill the swan if it means
alive.
you can come back.
Stay
I hope
alive.
you don't regret not taking me up on my offer.
Oh, you're insufferable.
Should we go about a day then and some change to
I mean, I think
make ourselves busy?
what we could do in the meantime is plan out what we're gonna do once the swan contacts us, and maybe do some shopping. Huh? Shopping. Shopping. Shopping.
We
Montage.
haven't had a shopping
We
episode.
haven't had a
Never
shopping.
have. You didn't have any money last time. Derelicted.
Well, there was some buying of weapons.
That's
and
true.
things.
You
Yeah,
did go.
yeah.
You did go to the market
And
to buy things.
Barnabas had long old man conversations with shopkeepers
It's
about.
true.
Oh my
carved
gosh,
wooden
I'm
things.
actually ready for a shopping episode next week.
In the meantime, I think we should maybe just take like an hour. I need to tell everybody to start advertising this and like make some flyers or something, or word of mouth it, and pick a venue, and then we can go shopping, and then when we get closer to the once we get the body, then we can set up the performance. I think like the stage and all that takes care of itself. But
I would like to suggest that with Edic's keen artistry eye, that he would know where to like specifically, if we're hosting this in Perch,
hell
are we
yeah.
hosting this? Yeah. Where specifically in Perch would be to like have this for maximum impact.
Also have
Yeah.
like the coolest idea, which builds off of Danksy's art. So just saying, it'll have to wait until next time, but I think you'll
Okay.
like it.
Yeah. So we'll essentially next session we can kind of like tie up like what all but yeah, I think that like the you have time in the day now to start, like the person who died was not your only staff person, right? It would not be hard to kind of start mobilizing your crew and like, get in contact
But they
with
were the most important one.
Ken, Dan, and Itchy Jim to like spread the news, like there's gonna be a thing, it's gonna be great, whatever. And so yeah, you start drumming up some hype for this kind of like concert that will come in the next couple days. And yeah, we'll go ahead and stop there. Thanks for playing tonight, y'all. Good job. And Thanks for watching, hanging out with us as always in the chat. Next episode we'll, maybe even do something outside of the room where we talk about what we'll do.
Wait, you should put up Itchy Jim. You should put up the picture of Itchy Jim.
Oh, it's so good.
Yes.
Yes. Incredible art. Just never stop. Please make me art.
The poofy pants were canon from Drawphone on Saturday.
Oh, right, you're right.
Yep.
That was very funny. Yeah. So anyway, thanks everybody. I guess we'll see you next week. Tune in this Saturday for a special episode of Tier One Shot. And also tomorrow for Moontree Isle at 7. Okay, bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Stay warm.
Yeah, stay warm, everybody. Bye.